victims in 2017. That's 30% of U.S. consumers. About 8 in 10 Americans have been affected by a cybercrime or knows someone that has been a victim. Cybercrimes, specifically identity theft, is a fast-growing epidemic with the number of victims reaching into the millions. As the World Wide Web becomes more sophisticated, so do the criminals that commit these crimes. There are areas of the web called the dark web, where there are social security numbers, credit card numbers, personal banking information, even your medical records. The list goes on, and those are available for purchase. I was a victim of cybercrime, as well as my stepfather and several friends, not all in the same instance. A laptop in use by the IRS with my personal information was stolen. This included the social security numbers of myself, my husband, my 2 children, our work history, and other personal information was compromised. This happened several years ago, and I did not seem to have a problem with it, thank God. They provided us with a service that would notify us of any activity online that used our information. There are a lot of different types of cybercrimes. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines cybercrimes as criminal activity such as fraud, theft, or distribution of child pornography committed using a computer, especially to illegally access, transmit, or manipulate data. There's many different types of cybercrimes. One I'd like to speak about in particular is identity theft. That can happen online. It can happen just in your day-to-day business. However, it's much easier to come by your personal information to commit identity theft online. In 2015, microchip and equipped credit cards were introduced in the United States, and it makes credit cards more difficult to counterfeit. But since then, criminals have focused on mainly new account fraud, meaning they would open accounts, new accounts, using your personal information. And it could be any, credit card account. It could be a bank account that would pretty much be used for laundering money. A personal loan, a car loan, even a mortgage, using victim's name and other stolen information. According to the Javelin study, account takeovers tripled from 2016 to 2017, and their estimated losses were approximately $51.1 billion, which is absolutely huge. You might be wondering how safe your information is, or wondering if you might know of somebody that has been a victim, and you may not even know it. The Bureau of Justice reported that 17.6 million U.S. residents were victims of identity theft back in 2014. But you don't have to be a victim. There's many ways that you can help to protect your information and make it more difficult for these thieves to obtain your information and to use it. But it's up to us to be proactive and protect our own information. For example, don't use the same password repeatedly for different sites that you visit. Try to be creative and use a strong password that includes upper and lowercase letters, numbers, symbols. Even if you were to be real creative and purposely misspell something, that would be more difficult for somebody to guess what it is. The harder it'll be for criminals to figure out your passwords and compromise your information. They recommend keeping your social media profile set to private. Use 2 forms of authentication everywhere that you can. For example, using a password on a site, but also like as far as like account recovery, using a phone number or a second backup identification for your accounts. And be careful who you're sharing your information with. If you really aren't very familiar with them, then err on the side of caution and just don't provide information that could be used and be potentially harmful for you. The 3 major credit reporting bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, all offer what's called a security freeze. And what that is it prevents anyone from accessing your credit reports unless they're already doing business with you, or if it's a government agency or other exempt entities. But you can go to each bureau's website and sign up for that. There's also a great wealth of resources on consumerreports.com, which will add a great deal to the list that I've already given you. So you're armed with some great information. Only you can protect yourself from these criminals. And don't be a victim. Some risks in life are well worth taking, but this is definitely not one of them. Thank you.